Welcome back to another vlog. My name is Erin Sugarman. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you in my community. Please like and subscribe down below. It helps the channel to grow and for YouTube to recognize my content. It is hard out here for small creators and new creators, so please consider following. It is Tuesday. It's 93 degrees outside. I'm not gonna dare, I don't think, at least for a while, to actually step outside. I'm definitely having a good hair day, although I might need to kind of like reposition my headband, I'm realizing, but this is a fancy new Coach headband I just got a few weeks ago, and I really like it. It's actually genuine leather. It's like lamb leather. Very fancy. What do we have going on right now? My hubby's at work, and it is 1:30. I have a little bit of a migraine that I'm getting over, so everything's starting a little bit late today. The cats think that it's time to be fed, even though it is not. I might give him a little bit of a treat though. And I just got done journaling, and I've been really enjoying journaling lately, and I wanted to show you the journal that I have been using, because it's not like a typical journal. It's a shadow growth journal, and I'll show you at a better angle. So it looks like this. It's the Shadow Growth Journal, a workbook for embracing and elevating beyond your shadows. And if you know anything about shadow work, this is basically that. I'll just buy it for $8 at Target, which is absolutely insane. And the quality of this journal is like unmatched. I'll just kind of flip through it to show you some examples without showing you my actual journal entries. It's cool because it includes some lessons and some information about different aspects of your shadow and Jungian psychology, which is where the term shadow and shadow work is derived from. And so like here, this goes over Jung's model of the human psyche, which we learn a lot about Freudian psychology and that model, but not very often about Jung's. And Jung was actually the student of Freud, and they ended up sort of splitting off from each other because he disagreed with a lot of Freud's points of view over the model of the psyche according to Jung, which goes from the ego level, and then the goal really is to get to individuation. And it just talks about the different aspects. You may have even heard terms like the collective unconscious, and it sort of explains what that actually means, or what the shadow itself is, which refers to hidden aspects of the personality that are usually in your unconscious. So it's cool, and it has like so many different types of prompts, and towards the back section, which is kind of the last section, you kind of go from doing a little more introspection to then learning how to do things like diaphragmatic breathing. And there's a bunch of meditations back here. This is actually a meditation journal that you do for a week. There's a grounding sun meditation that I'll be doing, and an earthing meditation. So just so many really cool things in this journal, and it's really like opening me up to learning more about myself. And I'm someone who's very interested in self-development and psychology, and even I am learning a lot during this journal. And I feel like the variety of prompts and exercises is really getting me to think about and apply some of the concepts in a new way, which I really appreciate. So I will link that journal down below. You can find it at Target. Can't recommend it enough. So I just got done journaling. I try to do a few pages a day. And I'm about 2/3 of the way through the journal, and I've been working on it for maybe a month or so, I would say, maybe a month and a half. And I've been really, really consistent. So now I think I'm going to do some yoga. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a longer yoga class today than I normally do. I'm someone who normally likes to do shorter yoga classes more often. So I like to do yoga at least 5 days a week. Honestly, ideally, I would do it like 6 to 7, but at least like during the work week, I try to do it every day. And I would say the very minimum would be 10 minutes, but usually on a typical day, I'll do something between like 15 and 25 minutes. I think 20 minutes being like the average. And I feel like that's a sweet spot where I feel like I do get a lot of really good mindful movement in, but it's not too much. And it's also, it's not like too little that I'm not really getting benefits from the practice. Because sometimes I feel like if I do like a 5-minute yoga video, which those do exist out there, or just even, doing some simple stretches or poses on the mat, I just don't feel like I really get a lot of benefits from that. Not that there's no benefit, and I think 5 minutes is better than no minutes, but I think 20 is really where I start to see more results in kind of mind, body, and spirit. And today I actually decided I'm going to do like a 45-minute class, so more of a traditional yoga class length. And yeah, I'm just kind of feeling like that's what I want to do today. And I'm doing a class around anxiety. And I just want to do something that's a little longer so that I can really delve into the practice. It's kind of hard to like film me doing that, but I think I will try and do kind of a fast forward. So I will also link below the class that I'm doing, which is a class that Christy Jones and Chloe Kernighan, who are the founders of SkyTing Yoga in New York City, did over the pandemic. I used to actually, SkyTing was my like yoga studio of choice. I've been and went to many, many studios. And I'm someone who found like, I would get kind of just like different things from different teachers and different studios and different types of yoga. Even that, like I would do restorative classes, I would do yin classes, I would do vinyasa classes, I would do hatha classes. I would just do like a variety of different types of yoga. And I really found that also just gave me so many different benefits and just ways of looking at things. And anyway, though, I feel like I'm really rambling today, but I did a work study program through SkyTing Yoga probably 6 years ago at this point, where I would volunteer / work at the studio for 4 hours a week. And then in exchange, I got an unlimited membership, which I couldn't really afford at the time otherwise, because I think it was like $250 a month for an unlimited membership. And, I was like working in a marketing job and like kind of just living the broke New York City life. So there was no way I was going to be able to like afford that with my salary. And so I did that, and I was able to access the classes that way. And also it was a great way to just be more involved in the studio. And it also just felt really good too. Like it felt great to help out and get to know the teachers more and just to really be like part of the community. So they do offer digital memberships now. They used to have 3 studios back when I practiced, one in Williamsburg, Chinatown, and Tribeca. And during the pandemic, they closed the Tribeca and the Williamsburg studios. But since then, they've now opened a different studio that I believe is in Nolita. And Chloe is also no longer like part of the business. It's just Chrissy. But I love doing yoga that's taught by them. And they do kind of an interesting style that's called Katona Yoga, which isn't very common in the West. It utilizes more Taoian principles, actually. And I really like it. And it's hard to explain. It's just the philosophy is different than most Western style vinyasa based classes. That approach, which focuses a little more on alignment, I would say. And it's not just about like doing the posture, it's like how you do the posture, how you breathe in the posture. And it sort of just slows things down in a way, and that almost allows you to speed up. That's the best way I can explain it. I will link the practice I'm doing down below. And so today I'm doing one that they did as a sponsorship through the NewCo, that's yoga for anxiety. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And Ruth would like to say hello, and we'll get into yoga. Say hi, Ruth. Ruth. Hello. You guys want a treat? Oh, yeah. They've been really enjoying these freeze-dried minnows. It's kind of eerie to give these to them, but they really enjoy them, as you can see by Ruth's enthusiasm. All right, ready? One for you and one for you. Bad at kind of showing you things passively, because I had to stop filming halfway through the yoga class because my phone was about to die and I didn't want it to actually die and I didn't want to lose the footage. So yeah, so you got to see half of it. Then I did the dishes and cleaned up the kitchen a little bit and decided to treat myself to a Starbucks order because I mean, A, because I love Starbucks, and B, they have a new raspberry cream cold foam that I wanted to try with a matcha. So that is on the way to be delivered. And Ruth is still obstinately whining because I guess her minnow treat wasn't enough. So yeah, she's currently under my desk. She has a little bird toy that she delivers to us at various times that she just delivered to me as a present. I'll show you. The cats have discovered this little cushion where I rest my feet a lot of the times to have better posture when I sit here, and also I store a lot of crochet projects in there. So that's her little bird that she delivered. So in the meantime, I'm going to show you the bagel that I have been obsessing over and eating every morning for the past couple of weeks. I love bagels, but for a long time I was doing egg sandwiches, but one day I just kind of decided to try this method and I'm really into it. It's kind of like a dipping situation, almost kind of like Pop-Up Bagels does. I'll show you. So here's the bagel. By the way, these are black seed bagels, everything bagels. You can get them at Whole Foods frozen. They're amazing. And this is goat cheese, and so it's a little chunkier today than usual, but I will rip the bagel, dip it in the goat cheese, and then dip it in the hot sauce. I use like a sweet and spicy hot sauce. I've kind of rotated through them, but yeah, so that's gonna be my sort of lunch, I guess. I had half a muffin a couple hours ago for, I guess, what would be my breakfast. And yeah, so I'm gonna have my Starbucks and just kind of like do some reading, work on, I'm crocheting a little teddy bear, so I want to continue This is one of its little legs, and yeah, that's basically all we've got going on. It's already almost 3 o'clock, which is crazy, but you know, as I said, we got a slow start to the day. I don't know how exciting the vlog will be, but I decided, you know what, we're just doing like a daily vlog, and if anything, it'd be nice to do, I think, some shorter ones, and also kind of push myself to try to do like, you know, a 15-minute vlog instead of a 30 or 40-minute vlog. So yeah. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a taste test and see what the raspberry cold foam is like. All right, well, I'm seeing they didn't give me straws, so 1 second. Okay, well, first of all, they gave me a venti, and I ordered a grande, as you can see right there. So I think it's because the order was a little, it seemed like they were running behind because my dasher had to wait for the order for quite some time. And that's my guess. Or they just recognize us, which they definitely do when we go. So luckily I'm the queen of straws. So this is the iced horchata oat milk shaken espresso. I've gotten it many times. Yeah, it's delicious. Really, really good. Highly recommend. And then this doesn't look the prettiest, but I think it's just because the cold foam in this heat didn't survive that well. But like, honestly, that's not even their fault. That's just the heat and the fact that they were busy. Ruth, no. So this is the new raspberry cream cold foam. And what did they write on this cup? I saw it says, thank you on this cup. So let's see, let's give it a try. Wow, it is really good. It tastes like freeze-dried raspberries, which I presume that those are in this cold foam. Wow, it's very good. It has no flavor of fake strawberry, and it's not really sweet, this cold foam, in a really good way. I don't like when drinks are too sweet, and I feel like a lot of Starbucks drinks, their foams and their syrups are often really delicious and kind of like the literal secret sauce of why you order and what makes them different. But a lot of the times they're way too sugary, because even take, for example, the iced horchata shaken espresso. The horchata syrup is incredible. And we actually did a video where we reviewed it, which I'll put in a card up here. But it's incredibly sweet in the standard recipe. And so this only has 1 pump of syrup, and that's plenty. And normally for a venti size, normally it would have 3 pumps, which is just way too much. But this matcha with the raspberry cold foam, yeah, it just tastes like freeze-dried raspberries and like cream, essentially. So it's really, really delicious. I will definitely be getting more of these drinks. I'm already thinking that I'm going to have to order again tomorrow. And also I want my husband to try it because he really loves raspberries as well. And I like it a lot more than the strawberry cream cold foam. I like the strawberry cream cold foam a lot. But A, I don't like strawberries as much as raspberries. And B, I don't feel like it's as fresh tasting as this cold foam, where it's just like strawberries and cream, in the same way that this just tastes like raspberries and cream. So I'm very happy with my Starbucks order. So I'm going to enjoy it. And I think probably the plan, like I said, I'm going to do some crochet, do some reading, while I kind of sip on my drinks and just kind of relax and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And then I'll see when my husband's going to be coming home from work, and I'm going to make him dinner. So my guess is I will probably film myself cooking and then kind of close out the vlog. So